There were a lot of guys, Shaq, who chipped in to make this happen.
You know, once Brunson started going and the crowd started getting into the game, the others stepped up and played. You know, they just played well. You know, credit to Mike Brown, he's a great coach. I've always said if the coach doesn't panic, the players don't panic, and I was, you know, watching him the whole time. Never had really a look of worry in his face. And again, Brunson just stepped up and took over. The others played well. Everybody was into the game. So Marbury, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Al Palagonia, you know, the Knicks, Madison Square Garden was on fire tonight.
Yeah, but Ernie said something earlier. It was dead in there.
It was dead.
It was 100% dead. And then Brunson once he let Brunson score like 12 points, then those other guys just had to make a couple shots, and it was over.
So what do you do? Okay, so what do you do if you're the Cavs? Because obviously Brunson was targeting James Harden. So what do you do if you're the Cavs, Coach Kenny?
Well, I think that as much as he was targeting him, those were very difficult shots. Like, regardless if he was targeting, those difficult shots. But I also thought that if I'm looking at Strauss and Merrill, Merrill, along with Donovan, I would have to tell them, I'm like, you cannot let Mikal Bridges and Shamet win that battle. And that's what happened. As much as they made shots, they defended at such a high level. Shamet did a great job of keeping Donovan away from the ball in the last 8 minutes, and Mikal Bridges just shut down the wings. Yeah. So we can't have that happen. If we're going to be a championship team, two guys, one that comes off the bench cannot shut us down in our offensively. And that.
Talk about a blown opportunity for the Cavs. You come in this game, game one, Knicks. I mean, you can call it rush, you can call it sitting out, waiting for the playoffs to begin. And if you're the Cavs, you got to come in here and you have got to seal this win. You cannot blow a 20-plus lead in game one against a New York team that's not oiled up yet. And you played well for 3 quarters. Played very well. To have a meltdown and let Jalen Brunson take over this game and allowed him to have help participating. As you heard, Shamet, Mikal Bridges. You can't allow Brunson to go off and have 2 inviting guests joining the party, helping him out. Kenny Atkinson said they tried to double team him, trap him, bother him a little bit. Didn't work. Then you got a primary defender, and who? James Harden. He had the assignment of staying in front of Jalen Brunson. He had no chance. James Harden showed up with a pocket knife to a gunfight. Jalen Brunson showed up, unloaded the clip, shot James Harden down. And I'm talking about straight line bullets to the rim. Blown opportunity. How can you recover? Obviously a must win tonight. You lose this one, you lose the series, my opinion. No, it can be a long series, but you go down 0-2, heading back to Cleveland. I don't see how you recover. Knicks are never out of a ball game. Jalen Brunson gonna make sure of that. And it's funny to me because a lot of people don't think Jalen Brunson is a superstar. Yeah, he's a superstar. You can't say a guy is not a superstar when all he does is show up big as the clock winding down. In mattering moments, he makes big shots. He makes big drives. He puts the team on his back over and over again for these Knicks. Without Cat showing up in a lot of games, role players chip in here and there, but it all bars down to, can you stop the head of the snake and Jalen Brunson? You slow him down, you stop him, you give your team a better chance of winning the ball game. They have to come up with a better scheme tonight. Probably not stopping him, but damn sure slowing him down, and you got to get a better primary defender. Take James Harden completely off of Jalen Brunson. James Harden should be the primary defender on any offensive scoring threat in any game. Just when you praise or try to give a little praise to James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, and we're in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we're in the playoffs. And these guys are just up and down, up and down. Donovan Mitchell, where is he at? How is Shamet taking the ball away from you? Got you shying away. It's a disappointing shame performance by these so-called superstars who's supposed to have been oiled up, ready, just coming out of a series, playing a team that could be slow walking. And you had them 3 quarters, playing well. Cheese slid off the cracker, you couldn't recover, and you got spreaded.
Oh, that's not good.
That would be my talk.
And
win the battle.
while Bridges and Shamet are hitting timely shots, then you look on the other side as I'm taking notes during the fourth quarter, and this lead is slipping away, and there's a Harden air ball. There's Jared Allen missing 2 free throws. There's Sam Merrill called for a foul after a missed shot. Yeah, and then they come back and hit a 3.
Everybody's going to complain about different things, but they lost, in my opinion, they lost this game offensively. They were so stagnant. They were out there with that prevent offense. They had no. I'm pretty sure they had no assists the last 5 or 6 minutes. They were playing well. It's like when you're watching a football game when they be like, we're just gonna milk the clock. Every possession started with 5 seconds to go, and then you don't even have to play defense then because the shot clock is you're really a defender. But this game, man, that's a hard loss right there.
A hard, terrible loss. The only way Cleveland wins this next game tonight or this series, ball got to be hopping. Got to get your key players involved. It can be a lot of James Harden. It can be a lot of Donovan Mitchell. But you can't get stagnant. You got to still let Wade do his thing. You got to let Merrill do his thing. Get him going. Evan Mobley in the paint, like last series. Him and Jared. The intensity got to stay high at all times. You're dealing with a team that don't quit. New York do not quit. You gave up 1. Game 2, let's see if you can get it back. You got to split. You got to go back to Cleveland. Play your cards from there. What Shamet and Bridges had, matter of fact. Mikal Bridges put in 18 points, 7 for 11 from the field, 5 rebounds. Just pedestrian work, but it's about when you do it. How consistently throughout the game are you producing? Mikal Bridges added that. Shamet with his defense. When his offense, he takes away Donovan Mitchell. He scores 9 points. 3 for 4. Field goals, 3 for 3 on threes. That's an add. Little bitty pieces like that are key, especially when you got Brunson going off. 1 rebound and 0'd out on everything else. 9-1 if you really want to look at Shamet. But what was the key? Taking away Spider, putting him in his own web. These guys can't stay focused. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, they can't stay focused throughout a series. That's why you're on this roller coaster. You praise them one game, they down on their luck on the next. Cavs going to have serious problems if they can't pull this one out tonight. 115-104, New York. Stormed back. In clutch. Clutch performance by Jalen Charles Brunson. Showing, as of right now, who is the tougher team.
I was still okay, but the guys brought it tonight, knowing what it would have meant if we lost this one. We brought the energy from the jump. Guys were ready to play. Didn't get discouraged by the runs they made. Obviously, they're a good team. They're going to make runs. We just kept fighting, stuck with it, and we were able to pull out a W.
A W indeed. If you didn't think OKC wasn't going to come back in this game and tie this series up, you badly mistaken. They're champs for a reason. It's going to take care of home court. Spurs had their chances. I think they were within 5 at one point. They just couldn't get over the hump. Wemby was a slight effective than he was in game 1. Obviously, if you want to say slight. 21-17 and 6 assists, 4 blocks. If that's slight for him, then yeah, you have something special. But he had help. He didn't have to just go off. And he rarely does go off. It's a team concept. He's going to get his numbers, but you rarely going to see him 38, 40. Every once in a while, they have those breakout games, but this is a full team effort. 22 was brought in by Devin Vassell himself. 6 for 12, 4 rebounds, You had Stephon Castle do what he do all the time, 25 points, 10 for 17 from the field, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, but he's still plagued by those turnovers. He had 11 turnovers in game 1. He has 9 here. That's crucial. And you know what they always say with OKC, you can't turn over the basketball. Those are instant points. You're not going to win. Can't win. Turning over the basketball. He's going to have to clean that up. And unfortunately, Dylan Harper went down. That's a big blow. So the Spurs find themselves in a situation. They still can come out of it. Nobody's going to whine for them. OKC, they got their guy out. J-Dub. And that is a big factor. They can win without him, but he's still a big factor, especially when you get down to finals, conference finals, and going to the finals. You want J-Dub in there to seal the deal. So they're missing a great piece for that team. If the San Antonio Spurs cut down on this single-player turnover problem, they're going to give themselves a chance in every game in this series to win. Now you got to come up with a different game plan if you miss Johnson, because you got to figure out a way how I'm going to slow down SGA. I got to keep him off those 30 points. 22, 25's okay. But you can't allow him to go 30 plus. You can't allow Chet Holmgren to be pitching in and all these other guys, Caruso getting 17 points and making a difference. Something's got to give. Either you're going to keep them all in the teens, low numbers for scoring, offensive punch, or you're going to let SGA just go off and shut down everybody else. They spread. You heard the coach, Dagnall. They said they wanted that ball to pop. They needed to play faster, get into their sets a lot quicker. That was going to help their offense, which it does. When you see that ball moving, everybody's having an opportunity to dribble drive and kick. The team is tough, and then you add the turnovers along with it, getting them out running. You're not going to stop this team that way. So no shocker OKC came in this game, too, ready to take care of business, especially after what Wemby did in game 1, kind of showing up SGA a little bit. He wanted to come out in game 2 to show him, hold on just a minute. I am the MVP. He wanted the MVP. That game 1 was a glitch, and I'm coming with a new frequency. So y'all get prepared and get ready. I'm not saying we finna just knock them down in 5. Could go 7. But we're going to hold up their trophy and show you that these young puppies, cubs, are still sucking off their mama's bellies. 122 to 113. Spurs had their chance. Will their key role players play a difference going forward? Will De'Aaron Fox be available in Game 3? Will Dylan Harper get great news? He'll be able to bounce back quick. We don't know. I don't think I heard an update on it. Maybe it's day-to-day about that situation, but they're going to need all hands on deck if they're going to be OKC. I'll tell you that right now. Dylan Harper's out for an extended time. It's going to be tough. Can it be done? Yeah. But you got to cut down on turnovers. You got to figure out a way for SGA water to at least drip. Not cut off, but at least drip. You can do that, you give yourself a chance. G.S.Q.H, Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. You're going to get it all and what it entails. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. We out of here. Peace.